Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. So what I'd like to do is tell you exactly, actually, what exactly you need to know to be able to graph a line in standard form. Now, standard form takes the form of ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c are going to be constants, and x and y represent any 2 points or coordinates that are on your line. And slope-intercept form, which you are probably more familiar with, is in that format where m represents the slope and b represents the y-intercept. So there's going to be 2 different ways that we're going to investigate in this class when graphing from standard form. The first way is going to be using the intercept method. And basically, the intercept method is we're going to identify, using this slope-intercept form, we're going to identify what the x-intercept is, identify what the y-intercept is, and then plot those 2 intercepts, connect, we got our line. The other way we're going to do it is convert it to slope-intercept form. So when doing slope-intercept form, it's important. So I guess some of the things you need to know, I guess we won't go in order. One thing you're going to need to know is how to convert to slope-intercept form. Okay? So if you have something, an equation like this with a whole bunch of numbers, let's say 2x plus 3y equals 10, how can you rewrite this in slope-intercept form? All right? The next thing would be as far as understanding the intercepts. So if we kind of go to our coordinate grid here, I'm kind of going all over the map, but here's our coordinate grid, where we have our x-axis and our y-axis. Where they intersect is what we call our origin, which is at the coordinate point 0, 0. And basically what we have is a horizontal and a vertical number line, where points to the right are positive and points to the left are negative. Points up are positive and points below are negative. So notice that here's the x-axis. So whenever a point crosses the x-axis, that's what we call the x-intercept, and that would be the coordinate point 3, 0. Whenever a point crosses the y-axis, we call that the y-intercept. And this would have a coordinate point of 0, 2. Using the intercept method, basically what we'll be doing is plugging, since you notice that we have a value for one coordinate and 0 is for the other coordinate. So basically what we'll do is we'll plug 0 in for one variable and then solve, and then do that again for the other variable and solve. And what we'll do is we'll have a line here that's going to look something beautiful like that. All right? The next thing is when we're looking into converting it to y-intercept form, not only do we need to know how to solve it in this, but we also need to understand what exactly is the slope and what exactly is the y-intercept. Remember, the y-intercept is where the graph crosses the y-axis, which is b. So that's usually from students going to intercept method to slope-intercept, they understand the y-intercept. But you remember, the slope is a ratio. It's the change in the y over the change in the x between any 2 coordinates. The change in the x-coordinates over the change in the y-coordinates. So it's very important when converting the slope-intercept form that you understand that we graph the y-intercept, and then we use the slope to find the next point. And that's where the slope triangle is. You can see, as I kind of use my ratio, in this case, I would have a negative 2/3 would be my slope. I'm going down 2 over 3, which creates a right triangle, which we call the slope triangle. And we use that to graph for slope-intercept form. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is kind of the basic things you need to know to be able to graph in standard form. Thanks.